And it might be uncomfortable, and you may not want to forgive somebody. The trick is to assume that you're somehow responsible for all of the problems, interactions you've had, no matter how the opposite it seems of that. If you just assume within yourself that I was somehow involved in this and I somehow pulled this into my life, and I'm going to take responsibility for it.
I've been putting my attention onto forgiving a friend.
Okay, so I have a little task for you then. I think you already know it, but maybe I'll highlight it. Let's just get a highlighter on it for now. Is the Ho'oponopono practice.
Like, I did that with during the care time.
And?
Yeah. That was great.
Yeah.
When I sing this song, I like to bring a time to mind because it is a forgiveness practice. And I think we all have some forgiveness to do in our lives. Things happen and we get hurt, or we hurt others as well. Or you know what, we even hurt ourselves. So I think sometimes the biggest person we really need to forgive is ourselves for being so hard on ourselves. So if you want to, you can bring like a time with a person or a time with yourself to mind. And it's really important when you do this mantra that you come into your heart and you say it from your heart, because we can say, I'm sorry, from your head, and it can be very safe and very shallow and just, I'm sorry. When we say it from our heart and from our depths of our being, it's so sincerely, and it can be so transformative and so powerful and so healing. And you don't even need to be looking at the person that you're saying it to. You can just be sitting with yourself in your heart, and they feel it in their heart too. I've had that experience many times, and I see the person, and it's just like something has shifted between us. So yeah, it's okay. Sometimes this practice can bring up emotion, and that's what it's supposed to do. So if that happens for you, just allow that to come out, allow it to unfold, allow the healing to happen. That's why we're here, that's why we're doing this, is for the healing of it.
The second time as well.
Yeah. So what you do with that is you keep going back to that person until there's nothing there anymore. There's no energetic polarity. There's no charge. It's energetics. There's no charge anymore. Like you'll do it, it's just, this seems pointless now.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's zeroed out. Right? You're taking out the electricity. You're taking out the current.
Mm-hmm.
So then you go to the next person. You go back through your history. It's a form of recapitulation. You go back through, when was the last time I withdrew love or had hatred or anger towards somebody or disrespect and just don't like them? You go to that person. You can just write a list, just a bullet point list of everybody, and just one at a time go through them all. And you may do one and it feels like, oh, that's clean now. Then if you have time, if you like, you can go to the next one. And then you can stop any time on the list, just make notes, and then you can go back to the one that you just did in a day or two or a week, because what happens is you'll clear it, or it'll feel clear. Then you return to it and you realise, oh, there's more there, because it's like you've cleaned the surface, right? You've cleaned the visible or the conscious, and then the unconscious can come up and there may be more, and you keep doing it until that's zeroed out and you cross that one out. You know what I mean? You go back through your history, clean your history up, because you are carrying it. That charge is within you. Those cords are in you. And all of this, if you can just visualize it as you need all your energy for waking up in the highest truth and peace and happiness and joy, the highest available. So all of these cords are draining that power that help you break on through to the other side, yeah? So if you want to look at it that way, so all of these, and you'll have them for sure as you start examining. You may not see it right away, but as you start going through your life, you'll start noticing. Even when you're a kid, you can start sealing off all these drainages, these leakages. And that's something you can do and pursue, because a lot of people just sit around and they're meditating or whatever, but maybe they're not successful at it, and their mind keeps coming in and disturbing them. Well, a lot of these disturbances are these sorts of things. So you get out front, clean them all up, you'll be able to meditate better. Because you have more power for meditation now. The mind's not running the show as much. Because these turn into thoughts. These support thought patterns, and it might be uncomfortable, and you may not want to forgive somebody. But yeah, the trick is to assume that you're somehow responsible for all of the problems, interactions you've had, no matter how the opposite it seems of that. If you just assume within yourself that I was somehow involved in this and I somehow pulled this into my life, and I'm going to take responsibility for it. Parents, siblings, etc., etc., aunties, uncles, grandparents, everybody. The guy that bullied you at school, or if that happened to you, I don't know, but whoever. Does that make sense?
It does.
It's not a small task, but it's a very, 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 very powerful one. And it may take quite some time. But if we want freedom, it's not wise to overlook such things. It's a very fast way of moving towards truth.
Please like or subscribe if you found value. Meet Rohan via rohan.life.